Okay. Welcome to the show. We are coming to you live from the Whiskey and Whitetails studio for episode 32 in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. We're the hardest working people in the company. I'm Matt.
I'm Gus.
If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for taking this initial step and supporting our content. The 10 seconds it takes for you to follow us, hit subscribe, maybe hit a like, maybe make a comment is 100% free for you and helps us grow towards the next one. If you're a returning listener, we are so thankful for your support. Gus, tell these people how they can save 20%.
To save 20%, they can head on over to whiskeyandwhitetails.com, check out our store, peruse around, find something they like, and use the code podcast at checkout to receive 20% off, with the exception of items currently on sale for our Christmas in July and our pre-order grunt tube, which is available.
That is true.
Pre-order.
Also, for all orders made today through Friday, we'll be throwing in a Whiskey and Whitetails rocks glass for free.
Ooh, fancy.
That's a bit. I didn't even pass that by anybody. I'm just making executive
decision. All right.
This is our first film podcast, and you can subscribe, like, and comment on our YouTube page by searching for Whiskey and Whitetails. While you're there, be sure to check out some of our new content, as we just released a video Friday. We have a new one coming out Wednesday and Friday again this week. This episode is powered by Elijah Craig, Barrel Proof B518. And just to quickly tell you what that means, they do 3 releases a year. A, B, C. A is in January. B is in May.
Okay.
C is in, I believe, September. So that's release 2, B, 5, May of 2018.
Oh.
So this is the May release of 2018, which means it's been sitting on a shelf waiting for this moment for 3 years and 3 months, the number 33, which is fascinating because it is 133 proof. Where is my tinfoil hat?
33.
33.
Nope, that's the end of the episode.
Yep. We're going to get this out of the way here.
Cool, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh,
it's so loud. We're going to fix that, folks. 133 proof. This is a great way to start a podcast.
Yep. At early in the morning. But
got to make content when we can.
Yeah. It is 8:30 in the a.m. All right. So here's a little bottle pop action for us.
Ooh.
Not bad. Sounds a little old.
Like it's been sitting on a shelf for a few years.
Yeah. It smells strong. I can already smell it. Right out the bottle.
Nice.
Glub, 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 glub. Glub, 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 glub. I'm hoping this makes me feel a little better. Didn't sleep much.
We should get t-shirts that say glub, glub.
Could.
And trademark it.
We could. So, let's give it a smell.
Oh, man.
It's high.
That is hot.
This is supposedly one of the most mellow
Really?
ones of them. Taste. I think smell is supposed to be pretty harsh, but
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just ethanol, right? It's hard to avoid that on the higher proof whiskeys. You're not going to get around the ethanol smell.
Smells pretty good though, honestly. I'm getting a lot of wood. I like it.
Yeah, a lot of wood, and then some of those just. I know on the nose with bourbon, I always kind of get some of the same, with the exception of the few where we get the citrus or we get some of those other things that are unique. This kind of has those baseline bourbon things, the caramel, the vanilla, a little cherry maybe. It's good.
Friday, we have an episode coming out on YouTube that is the Battle of the Barrel Proofs.
Oh, yeah?
And it's 7 barrel proof bourbons that we're going to be drinking on tomorrow while we film.
Nice.
And this is one of them, but I just wanted to pop this one because it's the oldest and I felt that it was cool.
Cool. Let's taste it.
Yep.
We've had this discussion. It's a dead horse that we continue to beat. You really like this higher end proof. I don't mind it, but I just prefer stuff closer to the 100. This is really good. I would 100 pick this up and drink this daily.
This is you can tell this is super high proof, but it is it's got like, it's funny because it's got so much flavor to it. As I'm talking, I can feel like wood coming out of my mouth. Like it's just the barrel aged. I don't know. It's,
one thing that's different about this compared to other high proof whiskeys or bourbons and bourbons is that while other ones tend to be hot, and by hot I mean really strong on the alcohol flavor, seemingly just for the sake of burning.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't feel hot as much as it does warm. Like it's just a smooth, warm finish the whole time you're drinking it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because a lot of them it's like woo.
Yeah, alcohol.
Where this is just
and then some of the flavor gets lost, and that's why I tend to lean more towards the 100 to 110 proof. But this doesn't drink like a 133 in my opinion.
Yeah, it's got the heat on it is definitely it's almost like a warm tea kind of.
Yeah.
And I do get a little black tea.
Black tea, yeah. Now that you say it. Maybe you just put that in my head, but
it's there, trust me. It does something like right on the edge of your throat. I don't know what it is. I can't stop sipping it because of that.
Like not all the way at the back, but like right where your tongue starts.
It makes my mouth water. It's doing a lot of things. This is a very interesting bottle. So I was wondering, I looked up how long they've been doing barrel proofs.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was 2012 was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how, because, doing the research for this Battle of the Barrel Proofs, the Elijah Craig, I'm not going to spoil it, but the Elijah Craig and the Larceny Barrel Proof, they had the same, A121 was the one that came out in January for both.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked several people, even Heaven Hill people, I'm like, what is the difference? And after I finally did a deep dive, there's a lot of differences.
Really?
But the Larceny one, the mash bill doesn't really change. It's a wheated.
Yeah.
Where these are not wheated and they change almost yearly. Like I think only one of these out of the 4 bottles I wrote down, I think only one had the same mash bill as another one.
Interesting.
So these are going to be fun. I think the Larcenys are all going to be pretty similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. So today, I've been pretty active already. So we're recording on a Saturday. I've been pretty active already on the Instagrams because I wanted to make a post today. So last night, at 11:40 something p.m., I posted picking up the barrels, right? And that's 30 minutes from my house. Mm-hmm. And then I posted again at 4:54 this morning, starting the day. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be like, for everyone, it was just too much to type, and I also just didn't care. But for everyone that thinks starting your own business means you will work less, remember this moment. Remember this. This is not a Snapchat. Remember this story post.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to say. But
sure.
I just didn't go down that rabbit hole. But so at midnight, I'm driving down the road with barrels. At 5 a.m., I'm driving down the road with barrels. Got to the studio earlier. I hung the rest of we decided the studio, we're going to have a video coming out with the studio, but we were going to save a portion of it for like a storage locker, but we just don't need it. We need the space. So we've opened the studio up now, wall to wall. So it's a lot bigger. And we're going to add some additions and end up backing the camera up a little bit because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
But my point is, it is now 8:30 in the morning. I'm recording a podcast. I got some videos to record after this. And then we both have just stuff to do today. And then we're running the night market again tonight. Yep. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to meet here again for more YouTube videos.
Yep.
So.
And he's got videos to edit. I'll have this podcast as well as some additional podcasts to finish editing for a while. We're on some travel. In addition to just life and kids and regular jobs.
Yep.
So yeah, if you think that starting your own business is going to give you, at least right off the bat, the opportunity to work less and have more freedom to do whatever you want, then you're barking up the wrong tree.
You're mistaken.
Yeah.
But we have proven if you put in the work and do all the things that you can be successful with it.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, we're sitting in a podcast studio.
Yeah.
Well, it's not it's a media. We're sitting in a studio.
Yeah. Call a studio. Just sounds better. I like it.
Yeah. Because we're going to do more than just podcasting here, but.
We already are.
Yeah, sure.
It's been fun. It's, 8 months ago. Who would have thought?
Yeah. It's an exciting adventure, and it's every time we start to get nervous about anything, it works itself out. It's just hard work pays off, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the hard work. It's a mentor that was part of my entrepreneurial journey many years ago for another thing. Once told me that when you have doubts, when things seem to not be going the way you want it to go, or you feel like you've hit a plateau business wise, he said a lot of times, just if you really look at what you're doing, when you reach that point, it's usually because you're either coasting in terms of like your effort into the business, or you aren't doing what you were doing previously. And the second you start putting in effort and doing more work, things start to change.
Right.
And even when you and I have gotten nervous about certain things or uncertain about certain things, just keeping our head down and working, it's fixed itself. So
the other thing too is the support that we have from the support varies. It goes from people that are like, "Are you sure?" And then it goes to people that are all in. You know, yep. And sometimes the people that are like, "Are you sure?" are the same people that were all in a month ago.
Yeah,
and it's just things change, and we get it. But for like, if you decide to go down this road, just know that support will waver.
Yep.
Decisions will change. Opportunities will come up. Risks will be taken.
Oh yeah.
And you just got to work harder. You know, if you think that we're sleeping 4 hours on a Friday night to get up and do it again and hustle in barrels, if you think we're doing that because we don't have to, or I don't know, what's the right way to put that?
If you think we're doing it, I don't know. It is kind of fun, so I don't want to say.
Yeah, it is fun. Like I enjoy everything we're doing.
Yeah, but I would also enjoy sleeping in on a Saturday.
Yeah, like yesterday, I texted you and was like, "It's a good thing we have to sign up for the night market in advance because at this point in the day, I'm ready to pop a beer and hop in the pool."
Just like everybody else. I mean, there are days when we would much rather be kicking it, just hanging out and with family or friends and just not doing anything. But we have a vision for this company and not only where it will be, but where it will allow our lives to be in terms of time freedom and financial freedom. And I think that is what makes me look past all those things and focus on doing the work when I don't want to.
Yeah.
So.
But it is fun.
Oh, definitely fun. I mean,
we're having a great time meeting people. And we've started
a ton of people.
So the people that, I'll get into it.
Yeah.
So the people that we talked to on Instagram. So I'm Matt. I kind of ran a lot of the Instagram. We split responsibilities.
Yeah, we did.
And I took the Instagram side. Gus took a lot of the website. We just split a lot of things. He does audio. I do video.
Yeah. There was no way for us.
He does woodworking. I do a lot of the packaging. I do all the packaging. You do all the, So for Instagram, those of you that are, because it's starting to happen like in the past 2 weeks. So Gus is now getting on Instagram and he's starting to talk to the whitetail community. So a lot of the people that are in, you're just going to start seeing us both. That's one of the because I'm sure you've noticed we sign now Matt or Gus, depending on who's making the comment.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it, is because now we're kind of splitting that as well and just broadening. I can only maintain so many.
They're trying to reach more people and
collaborations.
Even though Matt was running the Instagram, I had access to it and I could see the conversations he was keeping up. And we're just getting to a point now where we're both so busy. The company is growing. The number of things we're doing is growing. There's no way that Matt can continue that engagement by himself. So we're increasing that. Also trying to expand and engage more on some of the other platforms. So I'm picking up engagement on Twitter. I've started engaging more on Reddit, believe it or not. There's quite a big bourbon and YouTube and whiskey communities on.
There's a big YouTube community
on did I say YouTube?
Reddit?
On Reddit, I mean. And then of course we have YouTube that's popping off now. So and the bottom line is we could. That's something that while we're able to split certain things like woodworking or shipping or audio, video, as it makes sense, trying to split and have one person take all of social media it's just not feasible.
It's just tough. But I mean, these are growing pains in which we like we
sure.
it's fascinating how much we've done in such short amount of time, and how fast we're growing the communications that we're making. That, I mean, we had a guy. It still amazes me that people come and take pictures with us at the market. Like, we had a guy.
So weird. That was strange. That was probably the strangest interaction I think we've had at the market.
He's cool though.
He was a really
Shout
cool
out
guy.
to Warren if you're listening.
Yeah, if he's listening.
Yeah, we enjoyed the conversation. We talked to him for a while, and he really, he bought from us and wanted to take a picture with us. And I almost wish that I still had that. So if you have that, Warren, send it info@whiskeyandwhitetails.com. Actually, I gave you my card, so text it to me.
Hit him up.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, man. Just being around these people and meeting new people, and the communication that we're having, and just the community that surrounds it, and the support that we're given. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Same.
We we just put a new, do the thing. Yeah. New product. It's live on the store now. It's also on Etsy. We have
Oh yeah, forgot all about it.
Yeah, we have a cigar ashtray. So it's got I should have brought one. It's got it's a stave, of course. And then it's got like a ashtray circle, and then a line coming through it so you can rest your cigar on it. And we just ask, be smart. It's wood, Yeah,
it's very dense. It's
not likely you'll catch it on fire.
It's treated with tung oil, which sort of seals it and helps add a protective barrier, but it is wood at the end of the day. So don't, set a flame on it. It should be fine for ashing a cigar.
Well, I put that acid I smoked, the acid cigar that I smoked, I put that on there. You were like, oh, I love acid cigars.
I do.
Dude, I don't know what they put on that wrapper, but it is
Doesn't
something.
It smell good?
It is so
It
sweet.
smells so good. I love it. I'm honestly more a smell of the fan. I'm more a fan of the smell than I am the taste of those particular cigars. But I really do like the smell.
I think they tasted really. It was like had a sweet wrapper to it. I don't know.
Yeah, those are I've always liked the smell of them, and I have a humidor that I need to re-season and kind of get it up and going. But I always, when I had it up and running, I always kept 3 or 4 of those in the humidor, just for the smell, because you open it up and it always smells.
Oh
good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I left that in there and it didn't catch a flame.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I left it in there. I smoked another one the next day, and
I didn't even turn it black. I rinsed it out.
Yeah, I put it out in it kind of aggressively to see if it would do anything. And same.
I just let mine burn.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I did that the first night, and then I did it the second night, and just to try different things with it. And then same, I took a white like a paper towel and a wet paper towel and a white paper towel. It doesn't matter what color the paper towel is, folks.
That made it racist.
And I took and I just wiped it out, and it was fine. It looks brand new. Like it never, nothing was ever smoked in it. So.
I didn't even do that. I took it to the sink and rinsed it off, and it beat it up, and then I wiped it with a paper towel.
It does beat up?
It was done.
Cool.
Yeah.
Handiwork's working.
Yes.
So go check that out, man.
So yeah, that's on there, and
don't forget to check out. You can still get it in time. Well, when will he have some ready for? Will we be able to ship them out in time for deer season?
So I had to sneeze. Do I sneeze in here? Oh, my sneeze went away.
You're welcome.
I didn't mean to interrupt your. Yeah. That would have been a perfect time to sneeze. Yeah. Do it. Do it. Louder. Is that the clip that I sent you? I'm keep meaning to ask you that.
No, I actually found this one online.
It's funny that cadence is the same cadence as the clip I sent you.
They have I think it's an instinctual cadence that they do that.
Yeah.
That they do that. They do that with that is
for those that aren't hunters, that's probably a confusing sound.
Yeah, probably.
That sound comes from both male and female deers.
Yes.
And it is a bad sound. It means they know you're there and they're going to leave shortly. And when they make that noise, everyone can hear it and they're all gone.
Yeah, it stinks because it's an indication that they sense danger. They may not actually know that you are there, but they've caught wind of a scent, or they've seen movement, or they just don't feel something's just not right to them. And a lot of times a deer will just put their tail up, sort of flag, and they're just sort of bound off like, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm gonna get out of here. But if they feel that there is certain danger, then they will do that, male or female. And it is it's like a tornado.
Yeah.
It's a warning system in, somewhere. everybody in the woods can hear it.
Yep.
You know, if you're hunting from someone that's 200 yards away, they can hear it.
It's so loud.
Yeah.
Like it scares the shit out of you when they're behind you.
Especially the first time you ever hear it.
Yeah, the first time you hear it, you don't know what it, like, because a lot of hunters don't even talk about that. You know, it's not something that you're like, hey, by the way, if you hear this noise.
Well, and also nobody ever talks about the first time it happened and how much it scared the shit out of them because they don't want to admit it.
It happened it walked up behind me. Like I was on the ground on a tree, and it was, I don't know how far, because it was that time. That's a story I told about that guy that fell asleep and a turkey were like walking around next to him.
Yeah.
It was like, because I was when I threw something at him, there was a deer behind. I don't know what it was, deer, probably a doe.
Yeah,
it was like, you know, and I thought I got bit by a snake. I didn't know what happened. In the middle of the winter.
The first time it happened to me was at nighttime. I was walking out of the woods. Yeah. And so I'm walking out trying to be quiet because I want to be able to get back into that spot the next day or within the week to hunt again. So I didn't want to blow that spot up by charging out of there in the dark. So I was making a point to take my time, real nice and quiet. And I don't care how many years you've been hunting, being a half mile into the woods in the dark and walking out with little to no, because I was using the moonlight because I didn't want to use my headlamp. It was a bright moon, so I could see plenty. It's still spooky. I don't care how tough you are. The woods are they're just creepy.
They can be, for sure.
And I definitely bumped a deer that was either bedded down nearby or we just crossed paths, and is pitch black. And the first time I ever heard that sound in person was like probably, I don't know, it had to be 20, 30 yards from me. Dude, I about crawled out of my skin.
Yeah.
It scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's especially in the dark.
Yeah.
I've
dude,
never
I didn't
had
know what that was.
In the dark.
Oh yeah.
Especially the first time.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what it was.
I had no idea I wasn't sure what it was.
Did you figure it out quickly?
I did. I figured out, something clicked, you know. I had seen it and heard it before, but not in person. Like I had never experienced it. Like it's just different in person. It's loud. Like it is a defense mechanism for a reason. It is a very, very effective noisemaker they have.
Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm going to, because it's so early in the day, and I'm not saying that I won't drink it, but I would like to save it because this is a bottle I want to share with people, but our glasses are empty. So I'm going to switch gears into something else that we have. It's your choice. We have Colonel Taylor, not the rye. We have regular small batch. We have Blanton's. We have a Buffalo Trace that's unopened.
Really?
That might be all I have down there because I've been moving stuff back and forth. I didn't bring a ton here, mainly for our insurance.
That too? What? Offline?
Well, no, just if people didn't know.
Oh yeah, we're talking about growing pains and company.
Insurance is.
You think insurance is a pain in the ass for anything else? Try getting liability insurance for a business.
Well, let me tell you. So the point of this was, alcohol is flammable. If you didn't know, okay, but yeah, you know, I mean, it's not like, you know, I'm not even gonna go down that road. But the other thing, no, I'm not even gonna do it. I don't feel. Let's bring it back up, Chuck. Let's bring it. Give me some picking. What do you want, Buffalo? What do you want?
Yeah, Buffalo Trace sounds good.
Pick away.
Pardon the interlude, folks. We're just shuffling around a little bit.
Sorry. 24.19. Ow.
Get you?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Dude, that one's sharp. Look at that.
Ooh.
See this?
Tried to get you. That's our intern over here.
Yeah, we have an intern today, which is pretty cool. That we don't have to pay him.
Yeah,
because he's an intern.
Yeah. It's also my son, so I pay him in.
Why'd you gotta ruin it?
Oh, sorry. He's like my son. No, he is my son.
I just wanted him to be the intern.
Okay.
Dude, I have punctured. I am bleeding from my fingernail.
Oh.
Isn't that terrible? All right.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, my son, the executive intern.
Yep. Which is a new intern. This is his first time interning.
Yeah, he's brand new, and we threw him right into being in charge of some sound and video. So hopefully this episode turns out good.
If it doesn't, it's not your fault. He's an aspiring. Man, I cannot believe I did that with a rapper. You know, I'm getting old. My skin is weak.
Yeah, last night at the market, your ankle was bleeding.
Yeah, for no reason.
Nobody knows why.
It's just, I have blood, you know, I'm just getting old. My skin's getting weak. My first sergeant would be so upset. All right, I'm going to pop this just because I can. That was sounded better.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah. Is this a store pick? No. Yes, it is. This is a Forsberg's store pick.
Oh, cool.
I actually haven't had this yet. No, it's just Buffalo Trace. $23.
I love it. Someone posted a thing on Reddit the other day and was like, I found Buffalo Trace for $23 and, could not pass it up. And I was like, my post was like super excited for him. I was like, I'm so happy when people find it for what it should be priced at.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Interesting that it's...
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I was worried about... I didn't want glare.
Oh, so you're just going to...
Should be good.
Okay, it'll be fine.
Anyways. Ooh, we have an intern. Can I get a paper towel, please? Por favor.
Just be mindful of your cable there.
Yeah, your
attached
cable.
to your headphones. Your monitor, sir.
Nice.
Hurry up, intern.
Yeah. Jeez. Thank you. Man,
watch record. All right.
Where'd you get this kid? I'm just kidding. You're doing a great job, buddy.
He's
I don't mean buddy in like a condescending way because you're basically an adult now. But I mean like, buddy. Like you're my buddy. You know you're my buddy, right? He said yes.
Okay. That's good.
Catch.
Oh, man. All right.
Interns.
Interns.
Let's give it a smell. I'm just kidding. So I'm not even going to. It's just Buffalo Trace.
It's Buffalo Trace. It's fine.
But it is a store pick. So it is a single barrel Buffalo Trace.
All right.
So that is actually pretty cool. Don't jump. And according to all the people we argue with online, they don't matter.
One person. You're really letting that get to you, man.
No, it ended it well. Hey, that's pretty good. Tastes like spearmint.
Really?
Compared to this, that is delicious mouthwash compared to this barrel proof. You get it?
Yeah, it's like, it does have a weird spearmint kind of thing going on, doesn't it? That's strange.
It makes me wonder
I've
if
never had that in a bourbon.
Neither have I. It makes me wonder if I'll taste that again later. We'll leave that here and we'll try it again.
Try it out.
You had something prepared.
Yeah, something I want to talk about that I had heard about. I'm going to pull it up on my phone here, so pardon me, folks, while I pull up my reference. This is something that's going on in Oregon. And so right now in Oregon, there is a petition that is making its rounds, right? So you have certain things that, and depending on states, however it works, like if you want to get something onto the state floor as a bill for potential law, like you have to build up enough support from people for it to get introduced and have lawmakers make it happen, right?
How government works.
So, well, some people may not be. We have listeners.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So right now, something that's going on, it's been going on for a little while, but it's picked up new light based on, I guess, a judge's ruling to, I guess, consider it further, more or less. It's Initiative Petition 13 or IP13. And it was filed in Oregon in November by a Portland animal rights activist.
Oh, I know what those people are like.
And him alone, he was able to get 1,100 sponsorship signatures.
Not hard in Oregon.
No, not at all. If by July, so it's the end of July now.
Oh, that ruined it.
8 supporters collected the 112,000 signatures required. It could be a bill in November 2022. Now, I don't know what the latest count is. I don't know that they'll be able to get the support that they need, but I wanted to talk a little about what this bill...
Yeah, now color me intrigued.
Yeah, what this bill does. In short...
What's the name of the bill so people can look at it?
So it is no bill.
Oh.
Not yet. It's just IP13. Okay. And it is... What it will effectively do is ban hunting, fishing, trapping, animal agriculture such as dairy farming and ranching. What this does is it removes many or close to all of the current exemptions from Oregon's animal cruelty laws against animal abuse, animal neglect, and animal sexual assault. Now, on the surface, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Right? Except animal neglect, animal abuse, and animal sexual assault. Those things are generally geared towards domesticated animals, things like that, right? The exemptions allow for breeding of animals, right? So that you can breed cattle, for example, or other livestock.
So they're selling it as as discussing people that are raping animals.
Here's what it what it is they're looking to basically flat out remove anything that is done to animals. What will happen is if this passes, not only will because those exemptions allow for things like the legal killing of an animal, the legal take of an animal for hunting or trapping, right? If you were to do that to animals that don't fall within that exemption or activities that don't fall within that exemption, like a dog, then that's animal cruelty or abuse, right? But hunting and fishing, like there's those exemptions. They want to remove those exemptions. So not only would it be illegal to hunt or fish, but you would be a criminal if you did.
I don't think that there's any way that would pass unless people are just asleep.
Here's the thing, man. It's gaining traction. And Oregon is such, in so many places, such a liberal, I'm just going to say it, a liberal leaning state.
I don't know that that's liberal because
maybe not.
Hunting, we know plenty, we're not political, but we know plenty of Republicans and liberals that are outdoorsmen.
You're right.
I don't think it's a liberal idea. I think that's a crazy person's idea.
These are animal rights activists.
Isn't that a huge like fly fishing state too?
Yes, huge. It's huge and all that stuff. But not only would it do that, but it would make it illegal to slaughter cattle for beef.
Yeah,
it would make it illegal to do pest control.
Oregon. Oh yeah,
like anything. The way it's worded, and it would. It said for ranchers, it claims raising cattle would still be legal, but meat could only be harvested after the animal died of natural causes.
Well, I wonder how many senators, congressmen, mayors, blah, 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 have interest in owning farmland, and they're like, that's not going to happen.
Very true. And I'm not 100%, I'm not even 50% confident that this will ever reach the House floor of the state. The point being, though, is that it's gotten a lot of signatures and a lot more support than I would have thought something like that. And the reason why is because I don't think people read. I don't think people look at the overall context. People are supporting things like this with emotion.
Yeah, and that's what Prohibition was. Is they were like, are you tired of your husband coming home drunk and beating your kids? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, we're going to put this ban out for hard alcohol. And everyone believed it. And then it turns out it was beer and wine too.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I thought it was interesting, and mainly because it sets a precedence, right? Yeah. If they can get this far this time, well, then what do they need to remove or change in the wording to tweak it a little bit next time so that maybe it's doesn't cover so much and it's a little more accepted, and then they just infringe a little bit more on those liberties and freedoms that we have, to go out and enjoy public land or a private land.
Well, even if you think about the freedoms, some would argue. And again, I'm using this, we're not political or religious, but I'm using the words of the parlance of our times. The God-given right of being able to provide for yourself and for your family.
Right, yeah.
So the fact that we have to apply, I understand that, the fact that we have to apply and pay for a license to hunt or fish is a little crazy, but I get it. I know, we've talked about this before. I know that it goes to paying for a lot of conservation projects. Yeah. I don't argue with it, which I got my tags in the mail this week. I don't have a problem with paying for it. I don't mind. We just bought. We're gonna buy a license for Kentucky because we got a Kentucky hunt coming up.
Yep.
I don't have a problem. I donate to the elk.
Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
I donate to that every year, mainly because you get the free knife. I've never gotten a knife. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. What's going on? Anyway. The point being, taking away a man's right to hunt or fish, to me is insane.
Or maybe you're just a cattle rancher. You don't have time to hunt or fish, but you put bread and food on your family's table, and your livelihood has for generations relied on your ability to run a ranch and have cattle and livestock, and then they're gonna. I don't know, man.
Didn't Bill Gates buy a ton of land in Oregon for farming?
Bill Gates has been buying up land for years that has major sources of water or borders up to sources of water.
Well, water's going to be important one day.
That dude is shady AF, as the kids say these days. Is that how the kids say it, executive?
He's pretending like he doesn't know.
He knows. Okay. Whatever.
You should get out more.
You should get out more. It's going to be like driving soon. Isn't that weird?
If he was 2 years younger, I'd be like, come here and sit on my lap and tell me something because I want to ask you all a question. But you're at that age where there's no way you're sitting on my lap. And not me, you. I know you wouldn't sit on my lap. I don't, but I've known you your whole life. But I have a question. I don't know the best way to do it. Just come sit and. You guys are. You tell me when he should come in, or if he should at all. You guys are. I'm excited for your trip, and I want to talk about that.
The canoe trip.
Yeah. Because this is an outdoorsman's thing that you're
absolutely.
doing.
Sure.
But you are, what's your scout level?
He's a Star Scout.
Scout.
There's one, there's Life Scout after that, and then Eagle.
Oh, wow.
So
and you're young.
He's well on his way, yeah. Yeah.
You're 14?
He'll be 15 in a few months, and he's well on his way of putting on Eagle by 16, 17 if he wants to, yeah.
I thought that was like you had to be 18 to be Eagle.
No, you have to be, at 18 you age out of the scouting
so you
program.
have to make it by 18.
By 18, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And you can continue in scouting. There's venture scouting and some other high adventure programs that are geared towards older, up to college age scouts.
Yeah.
But at 18, you're done with the Scouts BSA program, what used to be Boy Scouts, how the girls are allowed. Yeah. But he and a bunch of the other of his peers are well on track to put on Eagle like before they turn 17 if they really push it, which is cool.
Can you rattle off like how much? I mean, it's a lot of learning, I know, but there's like hours of community service.
Oh yeah,
camping skills. Like I know it would take forever to explain it all, but it's if you were to say, how many hours of work does it take to get to?
So each merit badge each merit badge is designed to be about 8 hours. Now, there's a few of the Eagle required merit badges like emergency preparedness, some of the citizenship in the nation, some of the other like personal finance, personal fitness, and some of the other medical or emergency related merit badges take a little bit longer or have a larger commitment.
Yeah.
Most of them take about 8 hours. Now there's...
And how many badges do you have? A little over 20.
Yeah.
So it's 8, it's 16. It's 160 hours, right?
Yeah.
Minimum.
Right. And that's just merit badge. So people need to understand that your merit badge, to earn merit badges, you have to earn merit badges as part of some of your rank requirements, but your rank requirements are separate. So for some merit badges and for most of your ranks, he has requirements that involved community service and service projects, teaching. So he has to take time to teach younger scouts and get involved in being a counselor at camp or things like that. And so, at the end of the day, like I think the tagline is preparing scouts for life or something like that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like they learn all kinds of things, watching his group go from getting to a campsite and not knowing left from right and what to do to now we go out and the leaders kind of sit back in a chair with a, cold soda and watch the scouts set up camp. They have their patrols. They follow their chain of command. They only come to the scoutmasters if it's something that the senior patrol leader
that's cool.
Can't answer. And they take care of themselves. It's the whole idea of the way the patrol method is set up for scouting is to make it what's referred to as a boy-led troop.
Yeah.
We're only there to help guide. And that's where a lot of our training that we do as leaders is how to help guide and help lead them to lead themselves.
Yeah. So come to us if it's bad.
Yeah.
And then we'll help you get out of a bad situation.
And we participate and we help and we go and we hang out. But most of the time,
are there girls there or still?
No, not in this troop.
Okay. I just wondered.
That's
I don't even want to go down that.
Each troop has a chartering organization that sort of sponsors them. And the church that sponsors them is just not on board with that. So we don't. But there are others in the community that do.
It probably makes it easier because if I was that age.
Well, here's the thing. Someone made a good point the other day. We were talking, and I forget who it was, but he said like, he grew up and his kids were in Girl Scouts. Like his mom, his sister, like they were all involved in Girl Scouts. And so he was always around the Girl Scouts. And so because he was always around scouting with the Girl Scouts, like he was always there from the time he was a little kid till he was old enough to just choose not to go. Well, it's the same the other way around. Like in Cub Scouts, when they're little, it's a family thing.
Sure.
So daughters and little sisters are coming to these meetings anyways, all the time. Right. And they go camping because it's family camping. And so it's like,
well, it's not that it is a big deal. It's,
in my opinion, like I get people's, I see both sides, but at the end of the day, it's like, is it really worth arguing and making a big deal out of it? Like,
I mean, I don't care, but I'm not involved. So
right, it is what it is. The point that people seem to want to not acknowledge, and this is way off topic for our podcast.
Well, I think it's an interesting conversation.
Is that females have been involved in scouting since I think the 70s.
That's what I was going to say. Is I thought
venture scouting and Sea Scouts.
I thought they did a lot of stuff jointly, and then like fundraisers were separate and little meetings.
More or less.
I don't know anything about
Boy and Girl Scout communities. They may have done more stuff together back in the day, but they have very different ideologies, I think, now.
How did we even get on this topic?
No idea. We were talking about Gavin's.
The camping trip.
Yeah, the camping trip.
Is that recording? Let me look.
Sorry. Technical difficulties, folks. Now we're back live. Welcome back. If you missed anything, it'll be all right. What?
Most people watching have never filmed a podcast. Let me tell you, we bought Sony A7 IIIs because they're nice cameras. We bought f1.4 lenses because they're good at short field of frame.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons that we bought what we bought. We didn't realize this until, I don't know when, but they only record like 30 minutes. You know, and maybe you're watching this and you're like, you know, whatever. People learn. I don't know. It's neither of us. I don't know. It's not our thing. So, yeah, they only record 30 minutes. So it doesn't matter for normal YouTube videos because we're under 30 minutes usually. But for this, we have to start and stop. And you know, it just is what it is, folks. I mean, we're learning. We bought some cameras and we hate them. So we'd rather start and stop and miss, you know, have a black screen for a couple minutes. You know, maybe it says video resume in a moment. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not really, it's growing pains. We're figuring out. This is our first, that's the reason we didn't do the last episode because the fix we had was just garbage quality. So yeah, maybe it goes black screen, but at least you see how clear this is?
Yeah.
Anyway, back up.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Just getting all
deal with it.
Flustered my feathers. We have barrel pickups in
20-ish minutes. Did you want? What did you want about the canoe trip, or do you want to come back and talk about that later?
I think I want to talk about the canoe trip, but before we do that, I want to talk about the podcast release schedule.
Yeah.
So this will be our.
So this will post the day after tomorrow.
So this will be the Monday,
July 2nd.
Yes.
August 2nd. Yeah. Oh my God.
So the next one, August. So the next one is going to be, who are we doing first? Because we're doing bottle kill episodes while Gus is gone.
I think you said we were going to do. You suggested doing Dom's.
Yeah, we'll do
the
Dom
bottle kill
first.
episode with Dom.
Yep.
And then, do you want to record one when I get back? Or
No,
are you gonna
I
be
think
gone?
we need to expend because those are now getting to get a little old.
Okay, yeah. So then the next one for the following Monday will be another bottle kill episode.
So we have Chief Mercer or
I think we were going to do
Snipers Unknown.
I think we were going to do
Ortiz.
Ortiz and Snipers Unknown. And then we were going to save Chief Mercer for somewhere in September or October when we're on travel and we don't have...
The first week of September. Yeah. Because we'll be there that weekend. The 1st through the 6th or 7th, we'll be in Kentucky doing great things.
Yep, absolutely.
So that Monday will be a Chief Mercer episode. Yeah. So next Monday, you have a Dom Gatto Bottle Kill episode. The Monday after, you'll have, which is actually good timing because we're getting our shirts, or they're in production as of today or yesterday. So next Monday will be another Bottle Kill episode with... Ortiz from Snipers Unknown. He's going to tell you about the challenge. It's the only reason we haven't really been talking about it a lot because we just haven't been talking about it. But this episode will clue you in on what's going on. It's a good conversation. And then we'll be back after that.
Yeah, we'll be back for a couple of weeks at least.
Episodes,
2 or 3, and then we'll
do Chief Mercer.
But then that weekend, while you guys are that we're not recording one like we are now to post, the next day, and you guys get Chief Mercer that weekend. While we're there, we're probably going to do
we'll
2 or 3 or 4 or 5 podcasts.
We'll probably do 5 podcasts. And we're not going to make you wait a week. We're probably going to do 2 a week just because that content is time sensitive, more or less.
Yeah, so we'll probably do some bonus episodes and have some bonus stuff midweek or we'll figure out a schedule to release it. Maybe we'll have some exclusive content somehow for you to obtain.
I'm excited for those. We're going to do them outside.
Yeah, so
outside under a covered area.
I don't know what that's going to be like from an environmental standpoint and noise. Just keep in mind that
you'll be all right.
It's going to sound however it sounds.
The only thing you'll hear is there's no roads. The only thing you'll hear is a trickling creek in the background at most. Maybe a dog bark.
Right. So like, I guess my point is because we're recording that outside and we're out of camp, like I'm not going to break my back editing that to be super studio quality. I'll adjust the noise floor and make sure everybody sounds good, and then you're gonna get it as you were sitting there.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of the place we're going? No. Canoe trip.
Yeah, canoe trip. So we have been the troop, the boys have been planning this trip for a little over a year now. They've been fundraising, they've been planning, they've been looking at maps.
Is that what the popcorn I bought went for that I got yelled at? Or you yelled at me? Gus rarely yells at me. Like in the whole time we've known each other, I think you've yelled at me 3 times.
When did I? Okay.
One, I said something, I don't even remember what I said, but you were like, don't say that in front of our mom ever again. And I was like, oh, okay, I got you. And then the other one was that guy.
I don't remember.
When I came to pick up popcorn from him.
Oh, yeah.
I said something and you were like, I'm not going to say
I forget what you said. But I remember if there was anybody to not make a joke like that in front of, it was the other guy that was there.
Yeah. And the other one was years ago, many years ago.
Really? I don't even remember.
It was, I can't remember where we were, but it was somebody that was around you and you were like, stop. I was like, all right, I feel you. You remember I was a rambunctious sword back then.
Rambunctious. Yeah. Who knows?
Anyway, camping trip. Sorry.
Yeah. So they've been planning this for quite some time. The fundraising, looking at outfitters, looking at maps, the plan routes and everything. We met a couple weeks ago and they took topographical maps of the area where we're going, looked at the route list, which lists the direction that they need to go, which portages to take across to other lakes and so on and so forth.
Well, you didn't tell them where you're going.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know where you were.
And so routed out those routes. So they have they've gotten some experience in doing that. And where we're going is the northern part of, actually it's the northeastern tip of Minnesota.
And that's how long of a drive?
So that's a 2-day drive. I don't even know how many hours. We're counting it in days. And it's the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. It is a huge, beautiful landscape that is just pockmarked with lakes of all different sizes. I'm talking lakes that you can hit a baseball across, others that are big enough to put sailboats in. It's a huge mix. There's small rivers and streams in between some, but basically we're spending 5 days. Their goal, they have a 50-mile canoe badge award that they're working towards. So their goal is to hit 50 miles.
All 50?
Yeah, all 50.
In 5 days? Mm-hmm. 10 miles a day in a canoe?
Yeah. It's actually not bad when you look at
upstream.
Well, there's lakes, so we're on lakes. So the most challenging part we'll have to face is going to be potentially wind or weather.
So does each scout member has to do 50 miles, or collectively as a group?
No, you do it as a group. Like we're going to be in a group.
Yeah,
6 of us.
So 2 people per canoe.
Mm-hmm.
50 miles.
Yep, everybody's doing 50 miles together.
That's nice.
Yep. And it's the way we've routed it out is like it's 50 miles and some, I think.
Yeah. How big is it? I mean, is it laps around a lake or is it?
No, it's multiple lakes. I'll show you on a map when we're done with here, or maybe I can send it to you and you can splash it up on the screen.
Throw it up right here. Right here. You see this? Right here. Right here.
So it's a huge.
Hold on, let them look at it.
I'm sorry. I'm just talking about it.
You see it?
You see the spot? You see the water? The lakes? That's where we're going to be.
You see the circle that may or may not be there?
So the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness is huge. It's on both sides of the American-Canadian border. So there's actually parts where you can canoe and like wave at some Canucks. Of course, hey there, boys. How you doing?
Is that, can you say that?
Canucks? Yeah, you can say Canucks.
I don't know anything about Canada.
Yeah, it's like,
I know that most of them are cowards and they left during the Revolutionary War.
Oh, nice. If you,
Sorry,
we have some Canadian followers.
I know, that's why I said it, because they thought it would be funny. Specifically around.
I heard that if you get close enough to the border in your canoe and you yell poutine, that like hockey players just walk out of the woods. It's really crazy.
Maybe you'll see a Mountie.
So I actually made a joke about making a cartoon for Adult Swim that's actually based on Mounties in the Boundary Waters canoe area that don't ride horses. They ride giant otters.
Oh, nice.
And the bottom, they wear the same uniform, but the bottom half is a wetsuit.
That would be tight.
And they just drive around and
that would be really funny.
They drive around enforcing.
Did you submit that to Adult Swim?
No, but I should write it up, shouldn't I?
You should. I mean, they're just going to steal it, but I would still like to watch it. Maybe we do it.
Sit there and cry.
Can he draw?
Cry at night. Yeah, he can draw pretty good, actually.
Can you draw a Mountie in a wetsuit riding an otter?
A giant otter?
Like a bunch of them, because they got to move. So you got to draw it. I don't know how that works.
And they just patrol the lakes and the islands.
Teach them Adobe Illustrator. Do it in there.
Yeah, I need to teach them some Adobe stuff so we don't have to do it. So yeah, we're going to be out there for 5 days camping, canoeing, moose, wolves, black bears, all kinds of
wolves?
cool.
Dire wolves?
No, I don't think so. I think it's I have to look, but I think it's timber wolves up there.
Timber wolves.
Canadian timber wolves.
You ever seen one?
Not in person, no.
They are.
I know they're enormous.
Yeah. The first time I saw I at a zoo. First time I saw one, which I even hate. I hate that whatever.
Yeah.
First time I saw a timber wolf, I was shocked at how much bigger it is than what you. I mean, it's not like a massive animal, but it's way bigger than you think.
Yeah, you see a big dog and you're like, oh, that's a big German Shepherd.
Yeah.
But then you see a timber wolf and you're like,
it's the same size but less hair. Well, I mean, in the winter it has more hair, but
man, I don't. It's just a. I don't know. It is a very respect demanding animal. Anyways, so that's where we're going to be for 5 days, a 2-day drive up, 2-day drive back.
So it's 2 days up, 5 days there, 2 days back.
Yeah.
So it's 9 days
total. Yeah.
Did you see that?
4 days in a
math.
So there's 12 of us total.
Think about all
groups.
These stinky boys.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Febreze?
Well, we got to be careful with all the scent stuff while we're out there because we'll attract the bears.
The bears.
But on the way back, after being out there, they don't know it yet, but we're taking them to a car wash and we're just going to hose them all down and make them walk through one of those car washes.
You should. Until one of them gets knocked out. But those things spin, dude. I'd be careful.
So one of the cool things about being kind of in the scout community is that there are scout camps and reservations all over the country. And so we actually found a scout camp that has cabins that you can rent.
Nice.
So it's like a huge 4 or 5 bedroom cabin with a kitchen and everything you need with bunks that we're stopping at on the way up and on the way down. $70 for the whole group, for the whole cabin for the night.
Let me ask this: as an Eagle Scout, once you become an Eagle Scout, you did Scouts as a kid?
I did, but I didn't. We moved around a lot, and I kind of fell out of it.
I never did it. I didn't even know any Scout. I mean, I grew up way different than
I know
most people.
It's another podcast.
Yeah, but it'll never be a podcast. The Scout thing. If you become an Eagle Scout, what are the lifelong? Like for instance, you just mentioned that property. So it's an Eagle Scout. When he's 30 and he takes his kids somewhere, can he just call and be like, hey, Boy Scouts of America, you have this camp. I want to come stay here?
So rates and things like that for stuff like that is generally reserved for kind of being involved with an organization actively. With that being said, though, long-term things, having Eagle Scout on a resume, it's just like being a part of any other fraternity.
Well, I just mean from the I know that there's clout.
Yeah, there's all kinds of...
And I'm not downplaying the amount of knowledge that you're going to get and the things that you're going to build. Your life will be vastly different from someone like me that didn't go through that. Just the life skills, the ability for you to survive in the wilderness, how to set up and tear down it, and never what is it? Don't leave it better than you found it. All those things, it just builds makes you a better human.
Yeah, I agree.
But aside from those things, as an Eagle Scout, is there anything for instance, I think about like the Freemason thing where you could set your road flares a certain way and people are like, Freemason will stop to help.
Sure.
The way you shake hands, is there any of that? I mean, I know you can't talk about it. I know y'all did some secret stuff, but is there stuff like that?
I think there is some stuff like that with Eagle Scout. There is more of that with the other brotherhood membership that we've talked about.
Right.
That's something different. You don't have to be an Eagle Scout to be a part of that, but more.
Oh, you don't? I could be part of that?
No, but you'd have to be an active. You have to be a scout or a scouter.
Oh, so you have to be a scout to do that, but you don't have to be an Eagle Scout to do that.
No.
So in that,
that organization, that part of scouting encourages getting involved as early as you can. And being a part of that helps you, in my opinion, get to Eagle, but it's not required.
And that thing in the other thing,
the listeners are going to love
in
this.
life. No, because I bet you they have no idea.
Yeah,
so they probably will.
There
love
are
this.
handshakes and things. Yeah, for sure.
This is really cool.
Yeah, there's
I'm all about
there's
secret
admonitions
societies.
and things you can say to another person.
133, 33,
Yeah,
3 years, 3 months. I did it on purpose.
It's
If you're not into secret societies, I'm not saying you should join one.
I think they're fascinating.
They are. Just learning about them, but maybe you should join one and figure. Like I joined one and no longer a member, but I just joined it because I was like, these guys really control the world? And they don't.
Yeah, it's a shame.
They just eat steak.
Womp womp.
But there's some cool stuff. And it has helped me in my career, in my personal and professional life.
They can, yeah, they definitely can. There's no doubt.
Which is really with a point. You know, they spin it off as like you're going to be a master of the universe, but in reality is that you know how when you meet someone and the first time you meet them, you're like, no, I get good vibes, but I don't know them yet.
Sure, yeah.
But if like the veteran thing, when I'm like, I meet an Army guy, what was your MOS? Or where were you deployed? Or when did you get out? Or
immediate connection.
Whatever. Connection, but the more you think, you do the thing.
Yeah.
These like secret societies is kind of like that. When you meet someone, you can shake their hand and be like, and then you trust them, not fully, right? But you because as you get older, you learn to trust
it peels back a layer.
Yeah, you can see a little bit. It advances your life, your relationship a little more.
Sure.
Which is good for jobs, which is good for
business and networking.
Club. Yes.
Yeah,
because there's times that I'll do certain things, things. There's times that I'll do things. Can we get a sound? Just any sound? Just pick one. Not claps. No applause.
No applause. Sorry, the wrong one. I don't know what to play. I need to update
We
these.
can't do the banner. Actually, I need to look up. No, we can't do that one.
Buzzer.
You're
wrong. Countdown.
That works. I just wanted a sound.
I can put on some folk music.
We don't have to do that. Actually, do the song that we can't play, but you can only do like 3 seconds. You got because YouTube will pick it up. Turn it off. Yeah. Okay. I feel better.
All right.
That was all I really had. Yeah. Get on our YouTube page. Yeah, this was the point. We told you that the podcast wouldn't change, and it hasn't. Nothing's changed. It's still the same. It's just us catching you up. We don't have a whole lot of business news right now. There's not a lot going on.
No. Some of that will pick up, and so will some of the whitetail stuff. We actually have a log of whitetail related and whiskey related topics we want to cover. Where just some of it requires us to kind of game plan a little bit how we want it, especially now because we're including you as the viewer. We want to do it in a way that is not just us staring at each other talking, but can also involve you a little bit. So there's things we want to try and bring into the studio. And
also, these early episodes of us, because we're not used to being on camera, you see a lot of, as the guy that's editing them all, you see a lot of stuff and you're like, no one's going to notice. But there's some stuff in there. Like you'll see stuff and be like, they forgot they were on camera. Because I'm over here like picking my nose,
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to have to
looking
get
at
used
boogers.
to it.
I just did it earlier. I picked the scab right here and I'm like playing with it.
Nice.
So it's going to be all on YouTube. So they've already seen it if they're here this long.
That's fun to think about.
Also, all of our content starts out a little slow, and then, as you know, picks up as the whiskey is introduced into our spirits.
I think we can both agree though that for our video videos, not the podcast, but some of the other content we're doing, that we're going to try harder to be a little more excited from the jump.
It's not that we're not excited. It's just neither of us are.
I think we're both, honestly, if we're being honest with ourselves, I think we're both a little nervous with the camera and just trying to get comfortable with this whole setup. So thank you for being here and being a part of this growing process. Thank you to our executive assistant for helping us today.
I need to know, we ask for feedback and sometimes we get, sometimes we don't. The intro video, I think it's too long. I don't know. I wish I could do a Trump thing. I think it's too, I don't know how to impersonate people.
I think it's too long.
I think it's too long. But let me know if it's too long, if you like it or don't like it. I tried to make it funny. It's funny to me. And you laugh. My wife laughs. But y'all don't really know us like you know, I don't know. It may be, I don't know. Just,
I think there's little things that people may not pick up on in that.
yeah.
But whatever.
I need you to shoot me a message.
It can also change as we continue to capture. It's gonna evolve.
I think it's too long, honestly. I think the smoker block parts need to come out of it, and we just do not the smoker blocks, just us. And also, a lot of the promos we post is going to be us talking about our products, and that's intentional. The entire video is, of course, we're going to plug ourselves doing our own videos. All right, we got to meet these people. We're out of time.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the flip side. I don't know.
Bye.